The Italian cannibal genre had its popularity peak in the 70s, and the genre pretty much disappeared after that if you look past a few unsuccessful attempts to reanimate it in the 80s. For some odd reason, B-movie maestro Bruno Mattei seemed to want to give the genre a go in 2004, with not only one but two cannibal movies at once. One being Land of Dead and the other one being the topic in today's review, Cannibal Holocaust The Beginning. Or Cannibal Holocaust 2, Cannibal World, or Mondo Cannibale, depending on what release you're able to get, if you actually decide to get this film at all. Both films were shot in the Philippines back to back with a lot of the same actors showing up in both movies. Cannibal Holocaust The Beginning, as what I'm going to refer this movie as from now on, is basically a direct Cannibal Holocaust remake, just without the legal rights to do so. I do wonder where they got the beginning part of the title from though, as this is hardly the beginning of anything at all. This movie sees the famous TV reporter Grace Forsyth become desperate as the television show is starting to do poorly, and she is in danger of losing her job. She gets the great idea of gathering a group of people together to head out into the jungle in South America in search of real-life cannibals. And what she doesn't find, she'll just find a way to make up instead. This film follows the story of Cannibal Holocaust so closely that it even rips off some of the scenes and tries to mimic them as closely as possible. This includes the message, if you will, about who is the real cannibals here, having the journalist burning down the huts with the so-called savages inside of them, raping one of them, and even having some absolutely unnecessary animal cruelty put into the mix. You can make some kind of argument as to how we can forgive the filmmakers from the 70s for doing that, but there is absolutely no excuse for having animal cruelty in your film in the 2000s. Of course, everything comes across as a cheaper version of Cannibal Holocaust, as there isn't that much talent behind the camera on this production as it was on the original. The look of the film alone should tell you that, as this has a typical digital video look that made the entire thing look like a South American soap opera. It's easy to see that there was hardly any effort in making this look good or authentic. The English dubbing doesn't help either, and you will have to laugh at it if you are going to see through this entire film. For example, just take a look at this scene.
It's Her Majesty in person, isn't it? Grace Forsyth.
Huh? How'd you guess?
And in of all places. I guess you're in trouble too.
No. I'm here on a Bob Manson search.
The main actress, Helena Wagner, even looks a bit like Francesca Chiaridi's character Faye from Cannibal Holocaust. The character even acts a lot like her, and she was obviously a reference point for Wagner in this. Looking past the terrible dubbing jobs, she did try her best there, and I'm a bit surprised to see that this was the only acting role she has been credited with. I also want to mention the very good looking Cindy Matic. She's a blonde bombshell of a woman, and all male viewers, and even some female ones, will be happy to know that she's not fully clothed in every scene of the movie. She is also one of those who shows up in Land of Death as well, by the way. A big part of these cannibal films has always been the gruesome brutality of the violence that occur. Even though it is amateurish, the gore effects are still decent enough. Hell, I found some of the stuff in this one to be more vile and gross than Eli Roth's The Green Inferno. I guess it is mostly to do with the way it is shot, as Mattei is obviously going for shock and trying to make the viewer sick when the red stuff is first being displayed. It is not as hard to sit through as the good old movies though, and if you have already sat through Cannibal Holocaust or Cannibal Ferox, then there isn't anything here that will disturb you too much. The director, of course, is Bruno Mattei. I can't imagine anyone else doing such a blatant rip-off than this guy. The only surprising bit here is that he didn't do a cannibal film back in the heyday of the genre, which is too bad as I'm sure he would deliver something that could rival the sleazy work of Umberto Lenzi. If you are unfamiliar with the work of Mattei, then I would recommend to start off with Women's Camp 119, Hell of the Living Dead, and Cruel Jaws. That's a hell of a triple thread if I can say so myself. Cannibal Holocaust The Beginning didn't do much to really energize the cannibal genre, but it did show that trashy Italian sleaze films didn't die out with the 80s. There's absolutely nothing here for the average moviegoer, but for fans of Eurosleaze and the cannibal genre, there is enough to make it worth the while, even if that's literally nothing new to offer. Even though it's been 10 years since I've seen it, I do remember that Land of Death was the best one out of these two, so I will go and check that one out first if you are curious about this. The score for this film should probably be lower, but I honestly was not bored or had any problem sitting through this crap. I've seen movies that have been put together way more competent that I've been bored out of my tears with. So the entertainment factor makes me give this a higher than it deserves rating of 2.5 out of 5. Even though it's absolutely not a good movie by any means. So who else out there has seen this Orlando Death? I'm guessing if you have, then you're a fan of the late Bruno Mattei. If so, what's your favorite movie from this crazy director? Let me know in the comment section below and subscribe for more obscure movie reviews coming to this channel in the future. Thank you for watching.